Hi, this is Chris Garcia. This is video number 14. Everything that we know is a fucking lie. It's beyond the idea that aliens exist. We all have at least a little tiny bit of alien in all of us humans. Some have more than others, but the starseeds are full-on aliens that came here wearing the skin suit to be a human and to help raise the vibrational level of this planet called Earth. Mythology is no longer a myth to us. It's real. Giants existed here on this planet. Dragons existed here on this planet. Aliens have been here before we were even conceived of. We were an experiment by the Anunnaki people that became successful. Once again, we were an experiment. We survived it and we flourished. Now it's got to the point where Earth is for the humans. But the rest of everywhere else, the rest of the cosmos, the rest of the universes, everywhere else, it's all aliens. We live with, amongst, and are surrounded by aliens. This is their universe. These are their cosmos. We're just a fucking experiment that became successful. This is not our world. This is theirs. And we're just living in it. This has been all one big giant fucking lie that they never admitted to you. The more information I get from God, the deeper the lie gets. Moon, it's a lie. Dinosaurs are a lie. Earth and our existence on it, it's all a fucking lie. And the one thing that we're hoping that we could really count on, our faith in God, so much of that is also a lie. All of our history is one big giant lie. Human existence, complete lie. Money is all a lie. Medicine, medicine is the worst lie. Politics get even worse. That's the worst. That's the biggest lie of all. School is a whole another lie. And the media's job is to outright lie to you. God hates this so much that he made me come out to the world with a book that he wanted me to write. So that way we can put an end to all these freaking lies. The book will explain how God chose me to write the book. And then from there, he gives me all the information to give to you guys. So that way we could all put these lies to rest. I know that what I'm telling you can be incomprehensible, overwhelming, or for some of you, it's the thing you've been waiting to hear. But no matter who you are, I'm going to give you all the information that I possibly can. So that way we can move on. It's not going to be easy because the information is going to sound preposterous, fake. But once again, God chose me to give you these words of enlightenment and encouragement. These are factions in this world. There are factions in this world that we have been trying to kill and murder because they're trying to kill us. In every sense of the words possible, kill us. God is now tired of all the BS. He wants all of us to stand up against this horrible thing that we call the reptilians, the draconians, and the greys, to defeat them so we can move on into our new world with our new lives. They tried to sell us the idea that oil came from the deceased dinosaurs. That was a bunch of lies. There were never any dinosaurs. I know, it sounds crazy. Go look it up. So therefore, that's not where the oil came from. It was a bunch of lies. Oil ends up being the second most abundant liquid on the face of the earth behind water. And the earth itself produces it all the time. Oil. They were in the business of selling us lies. They also told us that oil was very limited and there wasn't much, so the prices constantly had to go up. It's the second most abundant liquid in the world. They sold us lies. Right now, we can't afford to think of our world in terms of them versus us. Republicans, Democrats, blacks, whites, those red people, those yellow people, those brown people, or any other that we looked at in divided terms. This is a human, Homo sapien, skin suit wearing, red blood spilling, soul bearing problem we have, and that needs to be taken care of. We have come to a point in our world history where we've already been and have known about 8 different civilizations that have existed here on Earth before us, because those 8 collapsed, and they completely collapsed. We're currently in the 9th, and again, we can see that it's going to collapse. This collapse will be different though, because this one is going to be a collapse of the conscious mind. 3D world we've been living in and know of will remain here until it comes to its own full collapse. For those of us that believe and recognize that this world runs on our consciousness and fully understand the matrix that we live in and function in, and are ready to move on to the 5D, the higher conscious world, will be ready for us to maneuver into the new transition. Now, a lot of people ask, what are you talking about? It's something that in the details, it's a lot. I would say that the best person to go look up is Dolores Cannon. Dolores Cannon has a great way of explaining the difference between the 3D, the 4D, and the 5D. We live in the 3D. We function in the 4D. But for some of us, we've already moved on to the 5D. I know I have already moved on to the 5D. I know that my people have told me, you're already there. They said, actually, your brain works in 7D. So I know that because of what I went through in the book, as it explains, they've already moved my conscious level up to 7D. They told me that I have 5 strands of DNA. Okay. The typical person has 2. I have 5. And the other thing they told me is that because I'm Anunnaki, that when I go back to my planet, I am somewhere between 30 to 35 feet tall. I have 2 cats. They're also Anunnaki. They told me that when I die and they go with me, they're like my lions. They go with me everywhere. They've been with me through my lives. And so, I just want to let you know that we're ready to move on, but you need to go look up all these lies and see that you've been lied to, that we've all been lied to throughout all these years.